Okay, the most obvious question could be is, how's this all to begin? But even though this is able to involve the journey of the walk of life, but if we were to also explore the descriptive context of what has been described as judging. So within the ego understanding that from the ego perspective, judging has been self-selective and limited, but also to be associated with the distinguished state of an opinion. But recognizing that the distinguished state of an opinion has also been creatively produced from a vast yet limited amount of distinguished knowledge, that the ego perspective has come to distinguish from a vast yet limited amount of knowledge that it has come to descriptively acknowledge from a vast yet limited physical descriptive state of existence. Now, in comparison with the infinite amount of knowledge within this physical descriptive state of existence, it would also be acknowledging that the distinguished opinion is also able to be described as questionable. So, if the ego were to enforce this distinguished opinion, it is also recognizing that the ego is also trying to create some form of hierarchy for itself. Recognizing that this state of hierarchy has also been either influenced through the state of sadness, through the state of anger, jealousy, envy, greed, and even that of competition. But if the ego is always striving to be number one, it is also to be realized that it is not only the ego that is able to be described as deceitful, but also this distinguished opinion that the ego has come to creatively produce to enforce upon another individual. So, if we were to explore the context of sensationally judging, recognizing that this would be emotionally learning from the explorative experience that we have come to experience within this physical descriptive state of existence, recognizing that if we were able to notice something that an individual is doing to an animal and come to sensationally feel that this is not the right thing to do, it is also able to inspire us not to become as they are, but also to become better than what they are. It seems a bit harsh, but if a person's vibrational energy can be so low, it's obviously that we are also able to learn from this experience, whereby this is also able to emotionally change us. And through this emotional change, it is also able to inspire the descriptive state of ego to come to be more sensationally connected to the emotional state of the physical descriptive state of existence, but also realizing that through this emotional change and through being an example of what we've come to stand for and believe in and what's within our heart and the change that we've come to discover within our hearts, we're also able to inspire other people to also become better people, recognizing that we are also all in this together emotionally. And if we were to sensationally advise another person, this would also be coming from a state of clarity that we have come to acknowledge within our sensational selves, recognizing that this is advice that we do not question about anything, that we simply sensationally feel that it is right and that it is within a state of the known for it to be shared, that it too is also able to inspire the emotional state of happiness within this physical descriptive state of existence. So if we were to judge the walk of life, now there is the possible aspect that there have been those that have come to judge from the ego perspective. It is also to be acknowledged that this judging has been self-selective, and again it has been based from a vast yet limited amount of distinguished knowledge, recognizing that this opinion or distinguished opinion that has been based upon against the walk of life is also to be described as questionable. In comparison with the infinite amount of knowledge, and if we were to ignore this knowledge, this infinite amount of knowledge within this physical descriptive state of existence, and ignore the infinite amount of knowledge that is within connection or within association to the journey of the walk of life. It is also to be judging from ignorance. So if we were to sensationally explore the matter, sensationally explore the whole concept of the journey of the walk of life and how it has been so sensationally described and how it's been sensationally explored within its description, would be acknowledging that if you were to be reflected as the emotional states of reasonable purpose, and if this knowledge has come to be attracted to you, and if you were to explore it through the notion of love and constantly just explore it through the notion of love, you will come to find a state of clarity within what has been explained concerning the journey of the walk of life. So recognizing that if we were to explore the context of truth within all of this, again from the ego perspective, it is to be self-selective, and again this is also to be described as questionable from any perspective of the ego perspective. So within that, if you are able to be described as the state of emotional reasonable purpose, and if this knowledge has come to be attracted sensationally to your being, there's obviously a meaning to it all, whereby through love again you will come to a state of clarity with one has been described, and through that you will come to find, through the state of clarity, the truth within it all. And that is the truth that is again not even able to be questioned. You will just sensationally feel the energy and the truth within it all, and this is what it is to know the meaning of it all. So if I were to explore again in general context the walk of life, which is a 420 kilometer journey which will be traveled during the spring and summer month, and again this will be a documented journey and it will be a shared explorative experience, whereby it will be shared with individuals along the way, and again it will also be posted on the social media websites daily, again keeping people constantly updated of what is to be experienced and what is to be explored. And after it all, obviously it will be a full-featured documentary journey that again will also be published on all the social media websites. And I mean, if you would like to support this notion, there's an email address at the end of this, and you will be credited for your support, and you'll be credited in the state of appreciation, recognizing that this state of appreciation is also to be a tattoo, a permanent tattoo, but recognizing that this is a life-changing concept of idea, and it is for change, and it is for the cause of emotional change and to inspire change. The tattoo also represents all the individuals who have come to believe in earthly and universal change, recognizing that there is a meaning than it just simply being a tattoo. So within 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, people will confront me and ask me, why do you get these people tattooed on you? You know, what was the notion of support? What was the notion of it all? I will say that it was a notion of support, and I came to appreciate it through the people who came to believe in the same change that I came to believe in, and the same change that they feel that should be inspired unto others. And if that is within ego, I understand. May it be so. Namaste.